What if the next Formula 1 champion is sitting in his bedroom right now, wheeling his hands, and nobody knows who he is? I genuinely believe that, not as a theory, not as a YouTube concept. I believe that right now, somewhere in this world, there's a driver with world-class talent, driver who is fast, who is consistent, who has instincts to feel the racecraft, and nobody's coming for him because he can't afford it. Motorsport is one of the only sports on the planet where talent alone will not get you at the top, where a kid who's objectively faster than his competition gets left behind. Not because he lost a race, because his family couldn't afford it. That's not a sport. That's a selection process for wealth. And somewhere in that gap, between the driver who makes it and the driver who disappears, there's people like me. I walked away from 225 days of building a growing YouTube channel, not because I failed, but because I realized I couldn't commit to two paths at once. And the burnout of constantly splitting my focus between content and sim racing made the choice so clear, so I stopped and went all in on this. At the 2026 Canadian Grand Prix, I wasn't just a fan watching from outside anymore. I was walking the paddocks. Not the Formula 1 paddock, obviously, but the Formula 2 paddocks. Getting autographs from Alba Larsen, Rafael Camara, Dino Beganovic. And something shifted. That weekend turned racing from something I admired into something I felt I had to chase. I know how that sounds. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's not how it works, right? And maybe you're right. But here's the question I couldn't stop asking myself. What if the only thing stopping a sim racer from reaching the highest level of motorsport is that no one ever gave him the chance to try? Because here's the thing nobody talks about. Sim racing isn't just gaming anymore. The physics are real. The data is real. The technique you build over thousands of hours of laps, the trail braking, the tire management, the special awareness at 300 km per hour, it transfers. We've seen it. F1 teams use simulators worth millions of dollars to train their drivers. They build entire driver development programs around virtual testing. So why is the door still closed? Why does the path to real motorsport still requires you to start at 5 years old in karting, with a family willing to spend hundreds of thousands of probably millions of dollars just to maybe get noticed? I'm not here to complain about the system. I'm here to test it. The channel, this entire project, is a real experience, not a series, not a concept, a genuine documented attempt to go from sim racing to real motorsport and see how far I can actually get. No shortcuts, no fixed storylines, just the question, can it be done? And I think about the drivers who never got the chance to answer that question. The kid who was faster than everyone in his karting class and then just stopped because the money ran out, because no one showed up with a contract, because the sport decided he wasn't worth the investment. I think about how many of those drivers are out there right now playing iRacing, setting lap records on a Sutter Corsa, grinding thousands of hours in the sim because it's the only access they have to the sport they love. And I think, what if one of them could actually make it? What if it was you? What if it was me? That's why I'm doing this in public. Every step, every lesson, every failure. Because if I make it, even part of the way, it proves something. It proves that sim racing is a real pathway, that the next generation of racing drivers might not come from karting academies in Italy or family-funded junior formulas. They might come from a bedroom, a screen, a wheel, and a pair of pedals. I don't know how far this is gonna go, but I know I'm going to find out. And you're going to watch every single moment of it. The journey begins.